Hey y'all, welcome back to Movement Link. So I want to spend a few minutes just to talk about some dumbbell techniques. So something that's super common is we'll do one arm dumbbell snatches and alternate arms as we go. And we'll do hang cleans and alternate sides. We'll do things where we've got to get the dumbbell from one hand to the other. And what you find out pretty quickly if you haven't messed around with this stuff a lot is that it's hard. Your hand is in the way. So this hand is in the way of where I'm trying to grab with the other hand. And so it makes transitions really, really tricky. So I just want to spend a couple minutes here just helping you figure out how to get that dumbbell from one hand to the other because the way you do it isn't obvious, and you can kind of, when you're trying to learn it, you kind of feel like you're doing something wrong if this is the technique you're using without knowing that this is the right way to do it. So just trying to help here. The typical rule that'll show up in most competitions is you can't transfer from one hand to the other unless it's below your head. So I'm just going to use that standard to talk about this, just in case that's a standard that you end up having to use, because it's pretty easy to change that into other standards. So we'll just kind of stick with that one. So the main thing to know is that to get it from one to the other, the hand's in the way, so you almost have to do a trust fall, and you almost have to throw it into the other hand. So as I'm up, I'm going to come down, and I'm going to kind of go with like a reverse pressing grip a little bit, and I'm going to turn the dumbbell a little bit like this, and as it's turning, I'm just going to drop it into the other hand, and then come down. So it's pretty simple. I'm going to come down and then just drop it into the other hand. So it is something that if you're going to play around with it, I highly recommend playing around with it with a really light dumbbell because it is very simple. It just takes a little bit of getting used to. And when the dumbbell is heavy, it's real tough to trust that you're about to just drop this heavy dumbbell high up off the ground and grab it with the other hand. And so I think that's where a lot of people run into this problem is they have a heavy dumbbell and then they're just too scared to go for it. So they put it on the ground, switch to the other hand, which is another technique that we can use and talk about later. But the transfer is actually really simple. You just got to practice with a light dumbbell, work your way up to heavy. You'll work your way up real fast. And the transition just takes kind of you trusting that throwing it into the other hand is the way to go. And I guess throwing it's not really the right word. It's more dropping it. So you get one hand out of the way and just working on kind of that transfer. So it's simple. It is kind of weird. You got to let go and get out of the way and grab with the other hand as you do it. So just take some practice. Get light dumbbells. You can even, without doing the whole move, you can even just go like this and kind of drop it. That's all you got to do. That's all we're doing is just getting one hand out of the way. So real simple, just take some practice. Try it out. Talk to y'all soon.